We're going to head to Switzerland very shortly for England training later on in the programme. But the Welsh are also getting their Euro 2025 campaign underway tomorrow night. Their debut in the competition, their first ever major tournament match. The Netherlands in Lucerne. I'm actually doing Germany-Poland tonight and then scooting down to Lucerne for that game tomorrow. Jayne Ludlow, MBE, former Wales captain, former Arsenal captain as well, joins us live to discuss it. Hi, Jayne.
Morning.
Nice to see you again. Has Karen Carney forgiven you yet for pointing out her deficiencies attempting to mark from a corner live on television?
I'm still giggling about it, Sam. Yeah, look, Kaz, lot of respect for Kaz. Loved playing alongside her for many years, but defending corners wasn't her thing. But no, yeah, look, I really enjoyed the opportunity to be involved in the first game of the Euros the other day, but, so much more excited for our first game tomorrow.
Yeah, huge, isn't it? What does a successful tournament look like for Wales?
Oh, it's quite hard to say. I think you look at it from a different perspective, a different lens. For players, they'll want to get results. They'll want to get through. They'll want to get out to the group. And I'm sure the sports staff will be the same. For us as fans now, we're just loving the fact that we get to support our national team on the highest level now, on a big stage. So for us, not results are irrelevant. We want the game to keep growing. And if we can cause an upset in one of those games, then, it just accelerates that growth moving forwards for us.
You mentioned it's great to be able to support Wales. Obviously, maybe that doesn't necessarily extend to government level. I know there's a lot of unrest and disappointment that no Welsh Minister will be at the game against France. What's your take on that?
Well, to be honest, it's a world I don't occupy, I'll be honest. I'm focusing on players and support staff and how that world works. And I'm also, as a parent of two young children now, my little boy and my little girl, they are so excited to put that TV on tomorrow and see the girls play. I think, especially for my little girl, having those role models in front of her on the box, being able to watch them is just going to be immense. So in a sense of what people in powerful positions in Wales do and how they look at this opportunity for us, I'd have to know the context to have an opinion on it, to be honest, and I don't.
Yeah, Jayne, hi, Troy Deeney here. I just wanted to say my daughter, who plays football now, got into football by watching the Lionesses a few years back and obviously getting behind that. And you just speaking there as a parent. What is the hope for young females in Wales watching this? Because football as a whole has taken a little bit of a backward step, hasn't it, in Wales over the last few years, with the men's game especially. Will this see a success pattern now for younger females watching their idols on the screen?
Yeah, look, we're on a different trajectory. I think if you look at men's success over 12 years or whatever it is now and get into major tournaments, we've had that buzz, we've had those opportunities to grow there, and it's a different system. For us, we're kind of at the start of that. On the big stage now. Oh my gosh, if we could cause an upset, then it'll just, that growth is just going to accelerate even more. But I think for people like myself who've been in the system, and whether as a player, support person, generations before us, we are coming from a completely different angle, and we're just going, oh my gosh, this is still unbelievable to us.
Yeah.
Because we tried to get there so many times with lots of adversity, but thankfully, the team are at that level that they can compete.
Yeah, let's talk about the team a little bit, because there is lots of experience in the team. As you mentioned, it's almost a blend of different generations, isn't it? And then you've got a lot of exciting young players as well in the Welsh team that have clicked and sort of somehow managed to qualify for this tournament. Sophie Ingle is fit. How important is that for the whole group that she's able to come along?
It's huge. You're right. There's a right mix there. Really experienced players who played top level, mostly WSL, but like Jess out in the States, played in the highest level of competition for many years at their clubs, but haven't had the opportunity for the national team. But then you also have, which we'll always have as a small nation, a pool of that next crop coming through who might have not had that exposure. They might not even be getting it on a club level regularly right now. And it's that balancing act from a coaching perspective. How do you give that experience suitably, but not throw them in too early? So it's an interesting one for Rian and the team to balance right now. But I'm sure, look, they'll all be excited, whether they're the 16 or 17-year-olds coming through or whether they're the 38-year-old. Get that right from Jess? Yeah.
Great that Jess Fishlock is involved as well. It means a lot to her, doesn't it?
Oh gosh, yes, it meant it'd be hard for her to even explain it to people. I think, if I think back to Jess when she first came into the squad, and it was a case of who's this little kid? Crikey, she could play. Hold on, I'm gonna have to lift my level here to get the ball back off her. But she's been on such a journey. But I think for us as a nation, people may not realise that Jess would never turn down anything for Wales. Whether we were going to a tiny nation somewhere or one of the bigger nations, she would be there, and she'd be the first looking forward to that game just to put the Welsh shirt on and compete. So for her, it's probably hard to put into words.
It's obviously a really difficult group on paper. What chances realistically do you think Wales have got of springing a surprise? If they can do that, who is the key player?
Ooh. Look, my heart is very much telling me we can cause an upset. The reality is that's going to be so difficult. Mm-hmm. Even if all the team go out, perform to best level possible and connect really well, we're going to have to defend a lot. So you automatically move towards the back line and the goalkeeper. And Liv Clark, who's a young player still, but has quite a lot of exposure over the last few seasons, and she's done really well for us. But she's a huge player. She has to play out of her skin every single game. But look, there's key players all through the units there, whether you're in the back line, you talk about Hayley Ladd, or whether you're looking at Anne Harrod-James, who's the captain now, or whether you're looking forwards and Hannah Kane, who's more of that young generation coming through. They all need to play their part.
Jayne, thank you very much. Appreciate you coming on. Hopefully I'll see you over the course of the next few weeks. That's a big game tomorrow for Wales. And you never know, actually. The French are falling out. Some of their best players have been left out. Half the England squad seems to have retired. And the Netherlands, they were beaten up by Germany in the Nations League. So there could be a shock. Keep your fingers crossed, Jayne.
Yeah, look, we believe. We're looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. Thanks for coming on. That's Jayne Ludlow, heavily involved with Wales over the last 20 years, and delighted to have her on talkSPORT this morning.